Hey everybody, I was going to go over today's project. I've got a Dyna-Glo 30,000 BTU wall heater that I'm going to hook up in my garage, and it's minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And the problem with my house is the garage is underneath the house and it's not heated, and the pipes run through the ceiling, and it has a tendency for the pipes to freeze if it gets below about 20 degrees, which it does pretty frequently. So right now my cold water pipes are frozen. Last year this happened and the pipe burst and it flooded my garage. Well, not flooded it, but the floor was covered, it ruined the ceilings, and so I'm going to try to avoid that this year by putting this heater in. The pipes are frozen right now because it's so cold, but I'm going to try to get this heated up and as quickly as I can get my garage heated so that my pipes will thaw out and I can go back to life. Because you can't really take a shower when there's no water, so that's one of the outcomes of the freezing pipes. So I'm gonna get this start unboxing this, and we'll go through the steps of getting it put together. So the pieces I have here to install are the heater itself, and they also make a fan that you can plug into the back that will distribute the air through the room that you're installing the furnace in, the heater in. And I've got feet to mount this. I'm going to use the floor mounting kit for right now. I don't have a good wall set up right now for this heater to go on, and it's so cold I don't really want to be bothered with it right now, so I'm going to do a temporary setup. I'm going to use liquid propane tanks, which brings me to the last piece. I've got this dual stage regulator that I can run off of a propane bottle, and I will run the heater with this. Eventually I do have natural gas for my house, and this is a dual fuel. You can run it from natural gas or from an LP tank or whatever, propane. So eventually I'll probably run my natural gas out to my garage, and I will permanently mount this on the wall and have it set up so that it's always ready to go when it gets cold out. It's a little bit heavier than I anticipated it would be. It's all looks like it's all sheet metal, but I guess there's a burner in there, etc. So this is the feet kit, obviously. It does have some threaded screws to hold the feet on. I thought maybe they would be sheet metal screws, but they're not. They're actually threaded. Guess I should look at the instructions and make sure I mount the feet the right way. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the propane connection. There's two connections on here. There's one for natural gas, and there's one for propane. I'm going to go ahead and do the propane hookup. And then there is a setup that you have to do internal to the heater. There's a valve that you have to set so that you get the right, whether you're using LP or natural gas. It is an automatic. There's a switch inside there you have to set. So there's a plug for the propane. It looks like it takes, what is this? An 8mm Allen head to remove it. And it's just a plug that goes in there. Keep that with my parts. This is the hose that comes with it. I did buy some yellow tape for gas lines. You are supposed to use the yellow kind. This already has some on it on the male side, so I'm just going to go ahead and use what's on here. Sorry about the noise. I got a heater going in here. I got my hose pieces figured out here. This is the regulator. This whole piece here came in this kit that I got, and this hose as well. And I got the hose connected. For these couple pieces right here, it doesn't look like I need any kind of hose tape. Actually, this one this one does not have tape on it right here, and it probably should. So I'm going to go ahead and redo that one. And then I've got these ends here has a 90, so on the back of or on the bottom of the unit, I'm going to use this 90-degree one because that will let me not have this hose touching the ground so much. I can go straight out the back with the tank, have the tank sitting behind the heater. So I think it will work better doing it that way. So I'll get this put back together here. I'm going to go ahead and connect everything up and get it ready to start. So this is looking at the back of the unit. This is the port where you can set what type of fuel you're using, whether it's natural gas or LP. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. There's just an access screw on here. I'll take this off, and then it must have some other kind of a connector that you use. I believe that it is set to natural gas from the factory. Okay, it is set to liquid propane. Okay, so we don't have to do anything here. Hopefully I get the little cover back on. It's kind of hard working out here. It's kind of cold out. I think I'll lay this back down and put the cover back on with it flipped over. That'll be a little bit easier. And I also have to get to the bottom to connect up my Alright, so now I'm going to take a stab at putting this heater fan in. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Get some screws to mount it. And then it does plug into the wall. It's the only piece of this that requires electricity. The rest of this, there's a little battery to ignite the burner, to ignite the heater. But otherwise it runs without electricity. So there's a little fan here. I guess mine doesn't. On one of the other installs I saw someone doing, there's a little thermistor here that tells this when the fan should run and when it shouldn't. If you set it, the fan has an automatic setting, manual automatic. If you set it to automatic, it uses this little temperature sensor to determine when run the fan and when it's not. So I didn't see what people did to get this little panel out of here. Maybe the instructions will tell me how to do it. So why don't we read the instructions and see what they say. Alright, it does just say there's a couple spot welds on here that you can't see them, but they spot welded this and I painted over it. It says, oh well, that's pretty easy. It says just to use a screwdriver. Okay, the instructions said that this was, I'll double check it, but I think it said that well, there's only one way to put this in. There's notches on these corners on the inside, so there's only one way you can put that in. So we'll put it in. How is it the only way you can put it in? I wouldn't overcrank on these screws because this metal is very thin. And I think I already stripped that one out, so don't go real crazy with your screws. So I think I'm done except for checking for leaks and for putting the battery in the igniter. Then I think that's the only thing I've got left. Then we'll go through the startup instructions. So I have been looking at manuals as we go along here. I haven't been just doing this without doing any kind of research at all. I did see other installations of these heaters, either as a Dyna-Glo like this or a Mr. Heater. They're very similar to each other, not exactly the same, but very similar. So this is the little battery they give you. In my understanding, there's only one way it will work, which kind of makes sense. So we'll check that out here real quick. So there's just a button that sits on the back here. Alright, so we got it hooked up right. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but it is doing the clickety-clickety thing. Alright, so now I need to find my spray, my dish soap or whatever I'm going to use to look for leaks and make sure nothing's leaking on this before I try to start it. Okay, so I did my tests for leaks here. I've got this stuff called, it's Harvey's gas leak detector. I bought this for another project. I know a lot of people use dish soap mixed with water. That works good. I think you can probably use glass cleaner, anything that's going to bubble up for you when you spray it on a surface so you can see if it leaks or not. So, all right, I got this ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and it says to start it, to put it in the pilot position and push down. Put it in the pilot position and then push down. So I'll do that. you're supposed to hit the igniter button. You can't see it probably, but it ignites. And from other videos I've seen on these, it can take some amount of time for the gas to move through the bottle and make it to the pilot light here. I'll check a couple things here and then I'll go at it again. Okay, so it did finally light. I'm holding the pilot. It says to hold the pilot in pilot position for 30 seconds. It's been more than that now, and then you can release it. So the igniter did work. It just took a little while. So now I think I can put this into a heat position. There we go. Didn't tell you what to do after that, but so you got the heat position going. You got different temp settings here. I don't know exactly what these do. I'll have to look at in the manual. I would assume that 5 makes it hotter in here than 1 does, but it's not really clear. So anyway, I think I'm going to call this project done. Sorry about the camera going up and down all over the place. One more thing I might do we can look at. Isn't that pretty? That look good. So my thermostat says it's about 20 degrees in here. 28 degrees, something like that. So what I'm going to do is set this up and see if I can get this garage heated up so that it's not below freezing in here anymore. Because that's my ultimate goal for this, is to not have it be frozen in here. The tank is in front right now, but right now I'm going to move it so that it's behind the heater instead of in front of it, which probably is not a good idea. So, all right, I'll hit with you guys here in a little bit, and we'll see what the temperature does after a while. It's 1:40 in the afternoon. I'll let this run, turn on the fan, and see what it does. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of update here. I started this, I think, about 1:30, and it's about 3:30 right now. And if you remember before, it was like 20, it said it was 28 degrees in here, something like that. Well, now it's showing, if I can get this to work here, it's almost 50 degrees in here. So it's gotten a lot warmer. So what I'm actually going to do, there you go. What I'm actually going to do, I won't focus on there, but anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this to a lower temperature. I'm going to leave it running, but I'm going to set it to a lower temperature. So I also checked my plumbing too, and it appears that I checked my plumbing too. It appears that my pipes are not frozen anymore, but I'm going to leave this running because it's still, well below zero out. So I'm going to let this run. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So I'm going to try 3. Let's see what I got here. I'm going to set the fan to auto, and I'll just let that. So I'll let this run, and I'll keep an eye on the temperature too, to make sure it continues to have a good temperature in here. Like I said, it's about 50 in here now. Started off, I think, at like 28. So we'll keep this going. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please please hit the like button and also subscribe and share with others. Again, this is a Dyna-Glo 30,000 BTU dual fuel vent-free wall heater. Hey guys, I had just a few more comments on this little heater. Well, not little exactly, but a couple things altogether. The heater was $300. I'm sorry, $200. The heater was $200. That's a normal price, not on a sale. And then with the other parts that I got, the regulator, the feet, and the fan, and the adapter, the two-stage adapter regulator. I don't know if you can see it, but that regulator that I had to hook up with the hose, and the tape that I ended up not using. Well, I did use tape, never mind. Altogether it was about $300. This was purchased at Menards, and they have their 15% off sale going on right now. So that saved about $45. So this would have been about $345 altogether. The fan was about $25. And I don't think the fan is really worth buying. I don't think I would bother with that. If anything, you could probably buy yourself a little oscillating fan or use an old box fan and use that to push the air around. The little fan doesn't really seem to do very much, so I wouldn't bother with it. Other than that, also the lowest temperature you can go is 1, or the lowest temperature, lowest fuel level, which is what you see here. This is 1. It's not, I wish it was lower than that. It's pretty high in my opinion. Goes through the gas kind of fast. I think I read somewhere that a tank should last 20 hours, a 20-pound tank. I don't think that's right. I think it might last 12 hours or something, or if that, 12 hours at a very low setting. If you're running at a high setting, probably would be a lot more than that. So I can't think anything else on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.